As the year comes to an end, it's a great time to reconsider some of the financial decisions that we're making, particularly in terms of insurance. Usually our policies come to a conclusion at the end of the year and we have to renew in January. And I have done several of these videos in which I talk about uninsured motorist coverage and how you really need to be reevaluating your uninsured motorist coverage. Make sure you got plenty of coverage there. Make sure that it is an add-on policy. That's something that I try to make people aware of pretty much continuously in my practice, because I see so many people that are hurt and the at-fault party doesn't have enough insurance to cover their injuries. That is a very common thing. But there's also another type of coverage that you should really be looking into, that whenever you're looking at your insurance policy, you need to consider. Medical payments coverage is something that people really don't have a lot of knowledge about. They don't have a lot of knowledge about how it can be used, and they don't really know, for some reason, how cheap it is. And that primarily is because the agents typically don't make us aware of it. I have never had an insurance agent, whenever I'm renewing my policy, talk to me about whether or not I'd like to increase my medical payments coverage. I don't think they really have a good understanding of how it plays into your life later on if you are in an accident, whether or not you are at fault or not at fault. If you're at fault in an accident, medical payments coverage will still help you even though you caused your injuries. So unlike the liability portion of a case, you don't have to worry about whether or not you're at fault for your medical payments coverage to kick in. And for a lot of my clients, one of the biggest hurdles that they have as a result of the accident and getting treatment for the accident is how it is that they're going to meet their deductible under their health insurance plan. Most of us have deductibles that are pretty high. With the changes in health insurance coverage, we saw a lot of plans that just had really, really high deductibles that are required in order for the coverage to kick in. And for many of my clients, they're just not banking on having to put that deductible out in a random accident. So your medical payments coverage can absolutely be used to help you cover that deductible. And what I'd encourage you to do whenever you're reevaluating your medical payments coverage under your insurance, your auto policy, look at what your deductible is for your health insurance. Make sure that you've got enough medical payments coverage to cover that deductible. If you've got that, and it will be cheap, it is not something that it's going to cost you $100 a month or something like that. It'll cost you around $10 to $15 a month for the lowest grade of medical payments coverage, somewhere up to $40 a month if you're getting the highest levels or so. So it's not very expensive. Pretty good offset if you get a lot of it to health insurance coverage itself. But certainly you can buy for a really reasonable rate medical payments coverage that will be sufficient to pay your deductible in the event that you are hurt in an accident, and that will help you whether or not you are at fault or not at fault. So it's there for you to benefit off of. If you have any questions, feel free to call me. My name is Ben Sessions. Feel free to leave a comment below as well. Thank you and have a happy Thanksgiving.